Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, y'all, I moisturized my hair, I conditioned it, and this is what happened. This is what happened. Like, the curly parts are, it looks so crazy. That's fine. We just put on some red lipstick and call it a day. All right, guys. So, doing an energy update for the collective whole, and I got that. My phone. I got that it isn't what you think, and that kind of makes me worried because I wasn't thinking of anything. So, I don't know what this reading is going to be about. Maybe there are those of us who have some sort of assumption about some sort of circumstance, and the assumption might be flawed in some way. I mean, not that you're wrong, but maybe you haven't seen all the components that you're needing to see in order to actually understand what it is that's going on. For some of us, this is an assumption about other people, okay? For some of us, this is an assumption of what someone else was thinking and going through as they were having whatever interactions with you that were not what you actually wanted. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. I don't interact with many people. So, yes, the reading is not for me. It's for us. I am part of the collective. So I'm trying to make sense of this to see how it applies to me as well, because now I'm kind of curious. Like, what is this about? I got it. Ask and ye shall receive. All right. Let me just get the other ones. Okay. For some of you, you already have a person in mind. You already know who you're going to be waiting for messages about. So, okay. Final deck, because that's what I'm told. Here we go. Okay. I can't shuffle for nothing right now. Actually, for days now, I haven't been able to shuffle for nothing. Okay. One more shuffle just to be sure. Because I kind of want to make sure certain cards aren't at the top. So, I'm not going to listen to you, Michael, as to when to stop shuffling. I'm not going to listen to you. Damn it! I knew it! Oh my gosh! I'm so sick of this message. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the three wise men, all the sheep in the manger, the animals in the field. Y'all need to come and take the keys. Call me a spiritual Uber, because I'm not down for this ride. Okay. All right. Whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, guys. Let me just... What other deck? I can't even breathe. Okay. I'm now extra salty. Okay. Hold on. Michael will put them there. I know, Nadine. I know. Shuffle it one more time, and mid-shuffle, I stopped. And I was like, no, I'm not listening to you. And then it was at the top. Whatever. So I totally retract my statement earlier. about how I know this reading isn't for me, but I'm part of the collective. I'm not part of the collective anymore. I am an island unto myself. Here we go, guys. So it's not what you guys think. Okay, that was kind of the message for the title. Right before I start, usually what happens is my soul will tell Michael to tell me, girlfriend needs to go live. She has a message to give. And right before I go live, I ask, okay, so what's this message going to be about? Just so I can give you guys a heads up. And I was told it's not what you think, and it involves another person. Okay. So, rediscovery. There's a lot of things that went on that you probably weren't aware of. It doesn't matter what kind of connection this is. It doesn't matter who this is. Whoever popped into your mind is probably who this is about. Okay. So whatever went on between the two of you, there were a lot of things that you were not aware of. There were a lot of things that happened, things that were said in your absence that really triggered their inner child. Inner child problems were going on. And I don't necessarily know that it has anything to do with you, but this is part of what caused a divide between you and whoever this is. Okay. Now, that's all fine and dandy. Everyone's going through their own thing, perfectly fine. It helps us to understand why we don't take things personally or shouldn't take things personally. And hopefully that will let you let go of any type of animosity or, whatever it was you were feeling. Okay. So I just want to make clear, we're not making excuses for the hurt. We're trying to understand what led to the hurt. Okay. Card number 6, self-love. Maybe this had to occur in order to trigger you choosing yourself, in order for you to begin being super duper rebellious to your own internal process of, let me go ahead and martyr myself to appease other people, because a lot of empaths do that. A lot of empaths do that. It's actually more common for an empath to do that than it is for the empath to understand and apply healthy boundaries. Okay. So this is about you needing to understand that you didn't experience the hurt because you weren't enough. You didn't experience that hurt because you were somehow lacking, which is the same as saying you're not enough. What this is telling you is this had to happen to initiate this. Whatever triggering of inner child stuff that occurred, it had to occur to trigger this self-love stuff. Okay. So, okay. Card number 6, and then card number 7, celestial teacher. So the triggering, the hurt caused a triggering for the celestial teacher within you to arise, to wake up and begin helping you to learn the very lessons that you came into this life to learn. Now, so I see I see several comments regarding mother issues, struggles with the mother topic, and the inner child within the heart is the mother. I mean, I was already kind of feeling that, but I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to make it about me. But yeah, it's kind of like the core issue for some people has to do with the mother relationship. Okay. And I feel like it's necessary for us to remember, our mothers are regular human beings. We fall into this trap of having such unrealistic, unfair expectations of our mothers. They're learning how to be a mother just as you are experiencing being a child, And if you're going to say, well, I was the youngest because I'm the youngest out of how many kids, how come she didn't know how to be a mom by the time she got to me? Because until I was born, she never knew what it was like or how to be a mother of how many children. Okay. So if you're a mother of one child, it's not the same as being a mother of two children, which is not the same as being a mother of three children, four children, five children, six children, seven children, and so on. So our expectations need to be recalibrated, because if you continue to have this expectation that Hollywood really programs within us, because that's what's happening. Okay, Hollywood is programming us. The TV programming is what's teaching us how to regard our elders, especially mothers. Okay, especially mothers. And this is something that needs to be undone consciously. You have to consciously choose to undo this, because if you don't, you're going to continue to live a life full of resentment and rage that's unnecessary. Okay, it's unnecessary. So mm-hmm. I just love how I'm being I'm usually really good at ignoring people's thoughts, hearing other people's thoughts, but someone's saying how, like, oh, that's probably because you got a good relationship with your mom and blah 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 blah. Okay, well, here's the thing. I 100% believe and absolutely know for a fact you chose who your mother was going to be in this life. Okay? The mother that you have in this life might not be perfect based on your perception, which is skewed by what you watch on TV. She may not be perfect based on that, but she's perfectly calibrated to give you every single experience you will need in this life to become the person you need to be. Challenges, hurt, disappointment, and all. Okay? So if you want to blame someone for whoever that is that's talking, if you want to blame someone, you chose her. Blame yourself. You chose her. You knew exactly all her quirks before you came into this life, yet you picked her. Okay? Remember that. Card number 13. Power of attraction. So it's kind of going back to what I was just talking about. You are attracting to you the very things that you need to experience in this life to become who you're going to be, who you're supposed to be. All right. So, stop making this an external thing. This is not what you think. It's not an external thing. It's not everyone else is doing to you wrong, 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 wrong. And you're just, poor you. You are attracting the very things that you need to experience. Now, just because you're attracting the things you need to experience doesn't necessarily mean those things are going to be enjoyable. It doesn't mean those things are going to be, fluffy and like baking cookies. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It means you are needing to open yourself to receive the very messages that you have chosen for yourself to receive in this life. Okay? Make it a more internal process. Card number 16, embrace oneness with the universe. You are one with everything that you create. This includes difficult circumstance with parents, with siblings, with friends, with soul bonds. This includes everything. You are one with the circumstance you create. If you want to be the kind of person that chooses to just make assumptions because conversation is too uncomfortable, you are one with that. Okay, that's a decision that you made. Sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, I do that often. It's very uncomfortable for me to talk about personal circumstance with people who are involved with a personal circumstance, so I tend to just be quiet. Okay, I mean, unless you really piss me off, and then I'm just yelling, and I don't know what that solves. But I'm one with that. Whatever discomfort that arises out of me is staying quiet and not explaining, not expressing myself. I co-created that. I take ownership of that, and you need to as well. Okay, that's the same goes for when you speak out of anger. and say things you later regret. And then there's this assumption that, oh, they should just know that's just how I am. Yeah, they do know, but that still doesn't make it okay. Okay, that still doesn't make it okay. So conversation needs to occur either within yourself or with other people. I get really sarcastic too. You'd never guess, right? I get really sarcastic, I get really hurtful, and it's oftentimes ugly. It's oftentimes ugly because when you know how to, you know which buttons to push to really dig deep and hurt them real hard, um, that's not good. That's not good. So, this is more than just calling yourself out. This is about allowing yourself to recognize your process so you can shift just a little bit, to the side. So more of that rejuvenating, regenerative, the good stuff, the good energy, so that it can come forward. Okay. You don't necessarily need to completely get out of your own way. Some of us have experienced lifetimes of feeling as though we have no say, feeling very powerless, very mute, and forcing yourself to get out of your own way can be very, very difficult. It can be damn near impossible. So if you're one of those people that struggles with that, it's okay. If you're still struggling with control issues, it's okay. All right. Beating yourself up is not going to change anything, but allowing yourself to embrace your process of healing the parts that led to the control issue. That's what's important. That's what you're doing little by little. So shift just a little bit, sway the hips a little off to the side. Okay. Here we go. Card number 14, focus. Ooh, you being baptized. You are being baptized in your own birth water. That's deep. Card number 14. Focus. You have to focus on your growth. Stop focusing on this sensation of drowning in your own creation. If you are the creator, you can definitely shift what you've created to make it something that is more readily processed by your conscious mind. So figure out where your focus is. Is your focus on something external? Is your focus on things you can't change, things in the past, things that have hurt you before, but because you still live in that moment when that hurt first occurred, you are still hurting. And that's a major thing we need to recognize. When you live in that moment when the hurt first occurred, you're going to continue to hurt. But if you can allow yourself to move forward from that, I'm not talking about moving forward as in you're going to pretend nothing happened, you're going to ignore and act like everything is fine. No. If you were hurt, you have a reason to feel hurt. If you were hurt, you have a reason to be upset. If you were hurt, you have a reason to not trust people. But that doesn't mean just because you feel those things, just because that's your experience, your chosen response for whatever was done to you, it doesn't mean you continue to live in that moment, because when you do, you become a slave to that pain. Instead of that pain teaching you, it becomes your master, and not an ascended type of master, but the kind of master that abuses you and forces you to carry loads that are far too heavy for your shoulders to carry. And that's a choice you're making. Okay? This is not about blaming. This is about recognizing what we are choosing for ourselves without realizing what we're choosing. Once you recognize you have chosen certain things, you can then empower yourself to realize you can choose different. It's very simple. It's just like saying, oh my God, I always have to have vanilla ice cream because that's what I picked. So I always have to have vanilla ice cream. Well, next time you go to the ice cream shop, pick something else. Every time drama comes to you, it's like you going to an ice cream shop. What's your poison going to be? What flavor poison? You pick. Okay. Card number 9, communication. Are you allowing yourself to communicate with yourself? Or are you partitioning your higher self to be something external, something outside of you, something that's beyond reach, something unattainable, something you're not worthy of yet? Because I can tell you right now, Your higher self absolutely believes in you. You are a part of your higher self. Your higher self is a part of you. It's that voice that you argue with inside yourself. Did you think that was someone else? That's you. That's definitely you. So, card number 38, restore and replenish. I don't know what they're building at the farm down the road, but they always got heavy equipment. Like, damn, build me a clubhouse. Okay, card number 38, restore and replenish. Sometimes you are intentionally depleted. Sometimes. Okay. So how is that okay? Why is that something that that we should allow? If creation loves us so much, why do they allow us to be depleted? Why does God not let us stay full? Well, because sometimes you get so full of bullshit that that bullshit needs to be drained. So you'll experience prolonged periods of cycles where everything just keeps going wrong. You keep losing people left and right, and you feel so alone and you feel so empty. And that's a beautiful thing, because guess what? That space that other people occupied, people who were not in a band of frequency that's resonant with yours, people who are not willing or able to ascend with you, they're gone. They've been cleared away, and space has been left for your soul family to enter. And if you're thinking about how I've been so emptied, I'm just empty inside, beautiful, beautiful. Because now we can get rid of these perceptions that we're not enough, that we're somehow not aligned, that we're somehow, gonna drown, and we can't do this, and all of this other like really ridiculous belief. If you think about it, they're really ridiculous beliefs. If you look at your entire life and what you've survived, what you have gone past and still chosen to thrive, you've survived everything in your life thus far. What makes you think you're not going to survive this too? It's kind of silly, right? Look at your track record. Look at your track record. I guarantee that for every time you didn't get what you wanted and you were so disappointed, there was something even better, something more perfectly suited to you that was provided to you. And if you were too busy thinking about, oh, I missed out, this sucks, I have bad luck, then you didn't notice what was being offered. Something even better. Something even better. I'm just saying. Commune with source. Okay? Commune with the source. The source of everything you're experiencing is yourself. Have you spoken to yourself lately? Or have you been too busy thinking how it's someone else? Someone else did this to me. I'm being I'm being so snotty with my impersonation. I don't know who I'm impersonating. But it felt appropriate. Let me just move these cards. I don't think anyone talks like that, actually. That's why I'm laughing. I don't know who talks like that. Like, I don't know. I know I don't. Center. You need to find your center once again. Okay? Find your center. For many of us, our center has been someone else. For many of us, our center has been existing outside of us. How can that be your center if it's outside of you? This perception that is being peddled so widely of, if you think about yourself first, if you understand your needs should take priority over other people's preferences, that you're somehow selfish, that you're self-centered, this bad is so bad. I don't know why I'm being so extra right now. It's just so bad. So it's bad to be centered in yourself? Why is that bad? Why is that bad? To recognize you are the center of your universe. What you create is part of your universe. You are the epicenter of that creation. So why would that be bad? Why would that be bad? And I've had it's very rare, but like one or I think once someone someone said that I'm so full of myself. Well, who the fuck should I be full of? You? Should I be full of you? Is that what you wanted? Yeah. Where I cater to you and all your needs and fuck me, right? Because who the hell am I? I'm just someone who's catering to you. Yeah, no, just fuck off. Like, yeah, no. That's what I said. Should I be full of you? Is that what it is? Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, no, fuck you. Now sit on it and spin. I'm just saying. So, Will, you have the will to really see the truth of who you actually are. What you've been doing is blinding yourself with this perception of how you can be the greatest and the most and the like spiritual and mm-mm, mm-mm. So long as you participate in that love and light duality, you will never realize your totality because you are both light and dark. You are both masculine and feminine, positive and negative, sun and moon. And if you keep blinding yourself with that light bullshit, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. See, oh, that's deep. That's kind of harsh, but I like harsh. I'm extra salty today. I don't give a shit. Here, look at this. This is some of us. Notice how I say us because I don't think I'm better than anyone. Because at one point I was wearing this silly ass fucking outfit too, where I'm made of the universe. And you have this like fucking collar around you looking obnoxious because you're trying to play a role. You're trying to play a part. And the truth of healers is that they are not actors or actresses. Okay? Okay? We are not actors or actresses. We are who we are, experiencing the things that we experience in life to help us learn how to heal by first healing ourselves. So, some of us are still in this phase where we're playing the role. Okay, like banana and the fucking hair. Is that a banana? That's a part of the moon. What the fuck kind of bozo the clown hair? Look at that. I mean, that's like two ass cheeks. That's like two ass cheeks on your head with a banana on top. This is hilarious. You're gonna go. You're gonna go through all your phases, and just like the moon, despite going through the phases, despite appearing as though we're somehow diminishing, the moon actually doesn't diminish. It's just how much of our shadow aspects we allow to come out and greet the world. And shadow does not equate evil. Shadow and darkness is not synonymous with evil and maliciousness. That is a massive lie that many of us were told to keep us existing in a duality. That's what it is. It's a duality. What the fuck was that? Hold on, guys. I just had to screenshot that comment because I'm gonna laugh about it later tonight. Okay. So, hope. Ooh, Riva, it's very confusing and passive aggressive. See that whole passive aggressive thing? That whole passive aggressive aspect of living, like you can't actually assert yourself because if you assert yourself, that's aggression, that's bitchiness. And if you're too passive, you're a pushover, you're weak, you've diminished. And where are you supposed to fall in the middle of that? They have you walking a tightrope, walking on eggshells, a tightrope made of eggshells strung together with floss. I'm just saying, How are you supposed to navigate life if you're too afraid to be assertive, yet too afraid to be passive? You don't. You end up telling yourself that you need to do what everyone else says. You need to be what everyone else says. And no, just no. You want to try and force me to do something? Fucking fight me then. You're not going to force me to do shit. You can reason with me. You can explain to me why you need my agreement, why you need my cooperation, and then I can take it upon myself to use my fucking brain to decide if that's truth and in alignment with who and what I am. But people would take this process of mine and be like, oh, she's just a bitch. Fuck yeah, I am. You want to see it come out? Try and force me to do something that's not in alignment with my truth. I'll show you real good, and I'll smile while I do it. You don't have to be afraid of who you are. People are going to have their opinions of you no matter what. No matter what. They're going to have their opinions of you, no matter how nice you try and be. And I learned this for myself in real life. No matter how nice you try and be, no matter how hard you try and bend over backwards for people, if they are consumers, no matter what you do, it's never going to be enough, because however much you provide, however much you give, they will always be capable of consuming more. So what exactly are you doing? Because I used to be really, really, really nice. Really nice. Like really, really, really nice. And then I realized that wasn't doing shit. So then I was like, fight me, bitches. And then all of that bullshit stopped because they knew, oh shit, this girl's crazy. Fuck yes, I am. Mm-hmm. You want to keep playing with me? Or you want to just leave me alone because I stay in my own lane? I stay in my own fucking lane. And I actually had a conversation with my husband just yesterday. We were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, but I was like, tell me one time in the 20-something years you've known me that I started shit with people. When have I ever been the one to initiate shit? And he was like, never. That's right. So when I get all bitchy, no, you initiated that shit. And no, I'm no longer ashamed of having that type of reaction, because once you get me to that point, I now know you worked damn fucking hard to get me to that point, and you deserve it. You deserve it. And people might be like, that's fucked up. She's like teaching people. No. When you know who you are, when you know that you are very patient, very understanding, very accommodating, and people take it too far, you need to have enough compassion for yourself to allow that organic reaction. Because again, we are not actors or actresses. We are real. And if they keep rubbing the same place, we gonna get real raw. Okay? So don't feel ashamed for being who you are. As long as you know you don't start shit with people, but if you need to stop that shit, if you need to squash that shit, you're going to squash that shit, then that's what they asked for. Maybe they're like toddlers out of control and they need your help to calm themselves down. And a little spanking. I don't even believe in spanking kids. A little spanking might help them. I'm just saying, hope. We're being enablers and calling it, say, yes, plum ponds. Yes, 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 yes. This concept of Jesus turned the other cheek. I guarantee you, my brother in Christ consciousness turned the other cheek so he could cock his hand back and slap you real hard. I definitely remember a story in the Bible talking about how he went to the temple, saw that they turned his father's house into a flea market, and motherfucker was flipping tables. And I was like, fuck yes, Jesus. Jesus is mad. He's fucking mad. Y'all made him mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, Jesus didn't say, let people shit on you. Okay? Jesus didn't say that. That wasn't his teaching at all, ever. Ever. Okay? So, card number 16. Hope. Sometimes hope can be very chaotic. Sometimes hope can look and feel as though you have no control. It's everything else doing things and you're kind of just experiencing it. And maybe that hope and even faith is nothing more than a stepping stool to get you to a higher level of consciousness, a level in which you recognize my soul is no longer a toddler. So now I'm graduating from hope and faith to a state of knowing, a state of gnosis, where I know my needs will be taken care of, that everything brought before me is brought to grow me. And sometimes that growth can be very painful and be very challenging, but grow I shall. So maybe that's what this hope is. Creation's hope that we'll reach an understanding that hope and faith are nothing more than one step in your journey. I'm being told to also share my personal belief that faith and hope, although it can be a way to keep someone encouraged, it also can very much be a way to disempower, because when you exist on nothing but hope and faith, that is basically telling creation and everyone within your created reality that you don't have the power to manifest, to create something that is in alignment with you, where it's everything outside of you has the power, and you're just going to sit and hope and have faith that maybe something will provide for me if I beg just enough. But my personal belief is that, hey, you were given hands and arms and legs and feet and a brain and a spine to stand and do the things that you need to do for yourself. So why don't you begin providing for yourself? Oh, but Emmie, I don't know how to do this and do that. Yeah, but you know how to talk and you know how to interact. So why don't you begin co-mingling with the other souls in your co-created reality and find someone who has an expertise in that? Maybe that's how you answer your own prayers. Recognizing that there is divinity within everyone. And maybe the way your prayer is answered is just by allowing someone else's divinity to step forward and offer you help. And as empaths, and this is very, very common for empaths, heaven forbid we accept anything. Heaven forbid, right? Because other people are suffering. Other people are suffering. They need it more than you. And I used to do this too. I still kind of do this. Where, no, I don't need that. I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, you're fine, but this is not being given to you because you're fine. Sometimes you're put in that type of circumstance so you can exercise the act of allowing yourself to receive, because what is love if it's not a completed circuit? It's not a full circuit of love if you don't allow yourself to receive as much as you give, right? Right? Okay. So card number 30, the perfection of your life. Empaths. This is our card. Everything's on fucking fire. We're like, no, look, birds. Blue skies. Look at that. Birds and blue skies. While everything around us burns, okay? We have to begin allowing the people who actually truly see behind the wall, see beyond the mask that we wear for everyone else, to tell everyone else that we're fine. Allow them to help when they feel called to, okay? Allow them to help. When someone is offering you something, it's a gift. Is it rude to give back a gift? Is that rude? Or is that okay? It's rude, right? Include myself too. Amen. 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 Card number 32, make your dreams real. You're doing this no matter what. You know that, right? You're making your dreams real. And if all you dream about is suffering, that's what you're going to bring to fruition. If all you dream about is lack of support, all you focus on is how no one's ever there for me. And again, I am so part of this group where for a long time I felt like no one ever helps me when I need help. Well, first off, Emmie, first off, girlfriend, You don't ask anyone for help. You don't tell anyone when anything's wrong. And for the rare few who recognize you're floundering, you're like, no, I don't need help. It's okay. So you're screwing yourself, girlfriend. You're screwing yourself. And a lot of empaths do this. I'm not the only one that does this. Okay. And then I would get upset with myself with like, why do you always do this? Why can't you just accept the help? Because I'll tell people, no, it's okay. And then I'm like, shit, I really did need the help. I really did need it. And then I hope they offer again. And then they offer again. No, it's okay. I got it. Stop, girl. Slap both sides. Okay, let's get you guys the last few cards. I know a lot of people are feeling very called out, but here's the thing. You're not the only one doing this. That's the thing. So many of us do this, and we're so ashamed to admit this is our organic cycling. Because guess what? That's another thing to be ashamed of. You're more... Yeah, that lipstick is... That's just... You're so much more than what you think, okay? You're so much more than what you think. You don't give yourself enough credit for all the amazing, beautiful things that go on with you. All you focus on is all the negative. Because guess what? That's what you're told, that if you focus on anything positive, if you allow yourself to value yourself, heaven forbid that you even vocalize that someone hear you valuing yourself, because then all of a sudden you're a bitch, you're stuck up, you're full of yourself. All of a sudden you're a bad person, and bad in a bad way, not a good way. Yeah, you know what? I really don't care. I've gotten to a point where I don't care. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Just like I have my opinion. I think you're an asshole. I'm entitled to that. No worries. Tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you think I'm a bitch? I think you're an asshole. It's fine. Fair. It's fair. It's balanced. It's balanced. People can have their opinions of you. It's perfectly fine. You're not here to gather good opinions. You're here to be fully present in what you are creating for yourself. And if what you're creating for yourself is nothing more than trying to appease the preferences of people who, if we're going to be really honest, they don't give a shit about you. If we're going to be really, really honest. Because the people that give a shit about me, they don't have those kind of opinions. Even when I'm fucking up, even when I'm doing bad, even when I have a shitty attitude, they don't have those opinions. Instead, they have like, what the fuck is she going through? What's going on? Is she okay? There's none of that like, oh, what a bitch. No, there's none of that. So the people who can have that kind of opinion of you, they don't give a shit. So why do you give such a huge shit about what they think? Are they going to be there to help you? Are they going to pay for groceries? Are they going to help you with rent, utilities? Do they care if your kids have clothes? I mean, what is their opinion? Right? Nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's all about recognizing the root of this. The root of this is that you don't accept yourself, and that's why you keep going outside of yourself to find other people to convince you that you aren't as bad as you think you are. And I will tell you this. The people who have this problem, they tend to be the most beautiful souls. The ones who are so worried about how other people will take their behaviors, take their actions, that people might think they're mean, people might think they're horrible. These tend to be the most beautiful souls who have been so wounded and have not acknowledged those wounds. And so those wounds have festered. And as those wounds fester, you have these behavioral struggles, these coping mechanisms that really exacerbate what's going on within. It's the people who never question what kind of person they are that... No comment. No comment. Yeah, no comment on that. Okay. I gotta laugh. All right. Yep. We all have wounds. All of us are wounded in one way or another. We all have wounds. All of us. The more wounds, the more indicative of your life's path, including, what the fuck am I trying to say? The more wounds you have, that is more confirmation that you are here in a healing type of capacity. Now, we can't heal other people, but when we begin to heal our own wounds, we begin to understand the dynamics of how emotion and thought come together and create a festering or a healing environment. And as you heal yourself and become aware of how this process goes, you can then facilitate someone else's self-healing. We're here to help each other, not do for someone else. Okay. And that's another thing with the whole like savior complex. I'm here to save people. Yeah. Can you save yourself first? You trying to save me from me? Have you saved yourself from you? No? You still struggling? You still having bad days? Yeah, you should work on yourself then. You should work on yourself then. Leave me to me. I will work on me, okay? Because I'm better equipped to deal with me than you are to deal with me. So, 10 of Pentacles. Energy contentment, signing of an energy agreement. It seems like you and your special somebody, whoever you thought of in the beginning of this reading, there's a new agreement being signed. What is this agreement about? I don't know. Let's find out. There's a new agreement. Energy is being rebalanced. I wish I didn't look. Okay. Energy is being rebalanced, but I see a tower in the distance. If you're not willing to rebalance this energy and call back to you the very things that originally were yours to begin with, meaning if you're placing your wound, externalizing it, and putting it on someone else, yeah, call that back to you. Call that back to you because there's a tower moment looming. Fucking A. Okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay. I haven't been to church in forever. I feel like I just need to do a sign of the cross, kiss it, give it back to Jesus. The Fool. Good friends, happiness, needing to take a giant leap forward. So it's this sense that for many of us, we feel as though we are playing the fool if we go ahead and move forward from that hurt. Are you playing the fool? Are you playing the fool, or are you just allowing yourself to finally start living again, start walking down your path again? I'm telling you, I cannot stand this shit. What the heck's going on with you right there? Okay. Oh. That was just bullshit. What was going on with my lip? I want to talk about this for a little bit. Okay. So many of us feel like we are being a fool if we don't continue to be angry until someone apologizes. What if they're hurting too and can't find it within themselves to move forward and apologize? So y'all are both stuck there in that moment of hurt that occurred how many years ago? Well, if you're going to stay stuck there in that moment of hurt, y'all both being fucking fools. Okay? Don't be a fool. Walk forward in life. Just go forward. Go forward. I can still talk. Even when it's drying, I can still talk. Give me someone to argue with. I'm joking. I'm joking. I have plenty of people to argue with. No, I don't. I'm fucking antisocial is what it is. Okay. Okay. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Setbacks in material matters. Opposition to further gain. Suspense and delay. So, Are you the one that is holding yourself back? Are you opposed to your further gain? Who is this? Is this someone outside of you or is this you? And if it's someone outside of you, is that person nothing more than a projection of your internal rejection of your growth? Well, what is that about? We're going to need to find that out. We're going to need to find that out. 5 of Wands in reverse. Trickery, contradictions, complexity, involvement. This is us. I'm just going to call it out as it is. How I see it, this is us. We're full of shit. So many of us are so full of our own bullshit, and we need to just let that out. Toot it out. Take some psyllium husk, drink 8 ounces of water, flush it right out. You might even have some parasites. Use some mimosa pudica, some neem oil. I don't know. Flush that shit out. Flush it out. Flush it out. I need to go on a detox. I think I've become so full of my own shit lately too. I think that I think yeah, I'm pretty sure this is us. Yeah, Marisha, this is us. Can you hear me now? Yeah, no, we need to call ourselves out for real. Like, I'm being all serious now. I'm being all serious now. We're full of shit. All of us. All of us. And we really need to hold ourselves accountable for the shit that we do to ourselves, the shit that we get ourselves into, just all of that. It doesn't make you a bad person or someone who lacks intelligence or integrity just because you get yourself into these things. It doesn't mean any of that. You just need to recognize what you're participating in, what you're allowing to be perpetuated, and stop. That's it. It's very simple. Arguments, uncertain counsel or advice, circumspection, slander. You got to stop talking shit to yourself. You do. You got to stop talking shit to yourself. I found that empaths have a tendency to be very, very sweet and helpful with everyone else, but when it comes to themselves, oh, they talk so much shit to themselves, myself included. I talk so much shit to myself, and it needs to stop. I'm trying. I'm trying, but this bitch, no, I'm joking. No, I really am trying. It's something that's a process. When you find yourself starting that internal monologue of like, what the fuck, you always fuck up, you always blah, 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 whatever it is you say to yourself, pause and be like, slow down. You're driving a little too fast down a rickety bridge. Slow down, reel it in. Just reel it in. And you guys hear me saying that kind of stuff to myself because I know I'm starting another cycle of me saying all kind of crazy ass stuff to myself because I don't know why. There was a deck that I was supposed to use. What deck? Oh. So you have to do the moon cards. Oh, shit. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, this is shit that's accrued. This has accrued, and it might be... So for many of us, this is the life where we are supposed to... balance those karmic scales, okay? For many of us, this is the life we are doing that, where we are zeroing out any kind of karmic debts that we owe other people. And when I say that, you have to remove this knee-jerk reaction of karmic debt means I'm bad, that I did bad things, that I was a horrible person in a past life. Whatever. You have to let that go, okay? You have to. You have to. I'm not going to say that. Michael has jokes today. I don't want to say that, dude. People are not going to understand the joke. You don't have good humor, dude. Stick to your bell sleeves with ruffles. Your humor sucks. Like, people are going to take it the wrong way. Okay. He says to joke around and say that, yeah, look at me. I was a wicked sorcerer in a previous life, and I'm fabulous in this one. I mean, it's funny to me, but I don't think other people will understand that joke. That's what he's had to share. All right. All right. This is very fascinating. See, I don't hear anyone laughing, Michael. No one got the joke. I know. I think I'm the only one that understands your jokes because they suck. Your jokes suck, dude. Just want to be honest with you. Card number 42, South Node, Life's Debts. Karma, when properly understood, is just the mechanics through which consciousness manifests. This card represents a karmic point in our charts where certain matters must be discharged or cast off in order to develop and move on towards greater things. So again, just like what I was saying, the things that have accrued either in this life or previous lives, they're being processed now. They're totally being processed. And again, it doesn't mean you are bad. It doesn't mean that this is a life where you're going to be punished for all the messed up things that you've done. You know, you're not. You're seriously not being punished. Okay. Many of us agreed because this is a period of massive transition. Many of us agreed to process those karmic debts in this life. Okay. Not all of us, but many of us. So a lot of people, a lot of you guys will be like, I don't know why I'm so drawn to Emmie. I probably killed you in a previous life. I probably did. I'm so sorry. I probably did something horrible to you. And now you found me again. And you can experience me being nice and just, nice to be around. And so that balances it out. That creates a balance. I mean, you can't tell me that's not balancing it. It is, right? Because now you're experiencing a lighter side of me, a side where maybe I'm not, call it even. It's even. So now you all know why you're so drawn to me. I have probably killed all of you in a previous life. My really, really good friend, my really good girlfriend is like, I wonder if you killed me in a previous life. I probably did. I probably did. Sorry. Sorry in advance for when I kill you next life. I don't know shit. You don't have to be so hard on yourself, especially for lives that you're no longer living. Like, I know I did some really ugly things in previous lives. I know that. You don't have to hold that against yourself anymore. This is the life where you're supposed to process it, or you're supposed to allow yourself to experience the polar opposite and get a better understanding. And even if you can't do that consciously, you will be doing that on a higher level of consciousness. Like your higher self is observing and processing all of these things that are going on in this life to better understand. Because really, that's deep. That is so deep. I'm told this is just a simulation. We're just watching, just like, that movie from the 80s, like War Games, I think it was called, where the computer was trying, it was like artificial intelligence, and it was trying to go through all the different potentialities to see which side would win. That's probably what's going on in this life, because I was just shown that we sit in front of what looks like, it's like a slab of glass. It's crystal. It's a crystalline slab. And we're seeing like movie clips from our lives. That's some shit. Well, we just fast forward to the good parts? I'd like to just fast forward to the good parts. A major turning point This is a period to maximize the advantages of these changes. Difficult though they may seem now, you'll want to leave your comfort zone and make as many new contacts as you possibly can. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So that the South Node is about restrictions, endings, the closing of doors, beginnings, a shocking loss, but then a fresh start. Let's see. Card number 38, Earth element, stability. Every moment and every event of every man's life on earth plants something in his soul. Oh, that is so good. Thomas Merton, New Seeds of Contemplation. I like that. Every moment and every event of every man's life on earth plants something in his soul. Ooh, that was deep. Now is the time to draw upon your strength. Think of yourself as solid and sure as a rooted tree. You are firm. Nothing can knock you out of your spot. Wow. Let's see. Now is not the time for rushing or criticism. You need to be very patient with yourself. This ties into the Ace of Pentacles about stability, accepting responsibility, the body becoming organized, and nature. Interesting. And then we have card number 44. This is a solar eclipse, revolution. All of us are beginning to experience some level of recognition that we're having an internal revolution. Many of us. Some of us are not yet aware that this is happening, but it's happening for all of us. All of us are experiencing this, but only some of us are aware. Okay. So this is about your shadow being allowed to come forward, being showcased by your light, surrounded by your light, so that you are in control. You are in control of your life. Your shadow is not here to harm you. Your shadow is here to help make you whole once again. Okay, so let us see. Revolution is actually something that starts in individual hearts. Ooh. Damn, it's coming off again. This card spells out change. Major transformations were about to happen. When it comes to eclipses, something has to die for better things to be born. So this is about endings and beginnings. The chapter that you were living in, that's ending. You're being asked to turn the page and start a new chapter. And you can't start that new chapter until you let go of the chapter that you once existed in. Okay? You have to allow yourself to go forward. We must focus on what's directly in front of us. You can expect swift changes that end one chapter, and start a new one. These events may seem like negatives at first: a divorce, the end to a relationship, being forced to move, or even losing your job. Eclipses tend to affect relationships for most. This card implies you are being forced to make a decision, to act on it. There will be no stepping away from it. So all the things that you've been avoiding, they're coming to fruition. It's like a big ass boil that's finally ripe and ready to be drained. Have you ever watched videos like that? It's just like that. Would you rather have all of that toxic, nasty ass pus contained within your vessel, or would it be better to deal with the draining, which is disgusting, but within a few minutes it's done, it's drained, and you can finally heal? So it literally is. It's like many of us are living like spiritual boils, where we're not allowing that toxicity to drain from us. This goes back to the whole concept of if you continue to live in that moment when that hurt first occurred, if you don't allow yourself to move forward from that moment, you are imprisoned to it forever. For as long as you continue to participate in that, you're going to be imprisoned. You're going to be stuck there. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. So, no, I don't want to read any more cards. I'll give you guys one last card. I'm not doing a long ass roomy card. Okay? Because my mustache is sweating. My mustache is sweating. That's why. That's why. And then my lower lip keeps eating away the lipstick. And it's irking me. All right. Pain will leave once it's finished teaching you. Pain is the greatest teacher in life. That's a fact. Pain is one of the things you cannot go through life without ever having experienced. It's the greatest teacher in life, okay? Are you guys earring the Boyle comment? Is there a lag? Hold on, let me just. Oh, I guess I'm reading 2 cards. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Moved by the call, wild love of my own soul, I call upon you. I trust in the process of letting go in the wild, loving, sorry, and the wild, loving life calling me to my divine destiny. I trust in my fearless spirit. Ooh. So it's time for you to let go and let yourself return to existing as a wildflower. Grace carries you home. At the end of your efforts, when your resources are exhausted and you are without further recourse, I am there for you with loving, wild grace to carry you home. So your soul is telling you it's got you, boo. It's got your back. It's got your back. Yeah. I just want to skip to the healing. You can't do that. You can't do that. How are you going to heal something without it first being wounded? And how are you going to experience a wound without experiencing pain? How do you do that? You can't. You just can't. It's a process. It's like me saying, I want to learn trigonometry, but I don't want to learn numbers. Can we just go straight to trigonometry? No, we can't. We can't. Sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not sorry. You can't. You just can't. It's when you try and take shortcuts. I'm not trying to be judgmental towards you specifically, but it's when you try and take shortcuts that your soul gets triggered. That reads as avoidance. And when you avoid the very things, the lessons that your soul is trying to bring to you, to help grow you, to help elevate your consciousness, that's the part when the soul starts dragging your ass by your hair backwards over a dry riverbed. Just saying. And if you like that, I mean, by all means, continue. Go ahead and continue. I don't like that. I don't. So, yeah. I will be live again in a minute to do, I think I'm doing Pisces. I don't know. I thought I was going downstairs, but I'm told I'm going live again. So I will see you guys again in a few minutes. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, oh, motherfuckers. I just got a message for Pisces. Okay. I'm going to be live again in a few minutes. Join me. You don't want to miss this. Join me, guys. Bye.